Hi, thanks for joining me. For today's class, we're working towards wheel pose. So, in terms of the attributes that we'll look to open up throughout the practice, throughout our flow, we'll look to open up the shoulders, the front of the hip. We'll progress to a few back bends as well. In terms of props we'll need today, we'll need 2 yoga blocks and a strap. If you don't have a strap, just grab like a towel or an old t-shirt or something like that. We'll start with the shoulders. We'll come back to the strap in a sec. So just come to a tall kneeling position. You can do this standing as well. Take your arms down by your sides, and we'll do some controlled articular rotations for the shoulders. So from here, this is external rotation with the palms facing out. This is internal rotation. We come into external rotation, palms facing out, shoulders open. We those arms in towards the center and up. You get to your maximum here in flexion. Open up the shoulders, close up the shoulders, go into internal rotation. And in that rotation, keep trying to rotate as you reach the arms back behind you, back by your side, extend back, then externally rotate, and continue to rotate as you sweep up, back down, into our starting position. We'll do 2 more. Externally rotate, sweep up, internally rotate, and reach back behind you. From there, the knuckles will end up facing the side of your pants. Extend back behind, externally rotate as you sweep up and back down. 1 more. Sweeping up, internally rotate as you reach back behind you, and back by your side. Extend, externally rotate, reach up and back down. Nice. From here, we'll grab onto our strap. We'll take that strap up overhead. Create some tension on the strap, pulling it apart. From there, bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together, and reach it back up. Just do a few of these, nice and controlled. Back up. From there, bending elbows, pulling the strap apart, shoulder blades together. 2 more. Last time. Nice. From there, now with those arms up overhead, take the hands a little bit wider on the strap. Again, just continue to pull the strap apart. Then straight arms, bring those arms back behind you and down. If it's a little pinchy in the shoulders or not comfortable, you can take those hands, of course, a bit wider on the strap. Make it a little bit easier, reaching back up, all the way back down, pulling the strap apart. Do 2 more. Up, back, up, and forward. 1 more time. All right, so for this next one, we'll take the strap with our palms facing up. From there, again, tension on the strap, and this time elbows nice and tucked in tight towards the rib cage. From here, pull the strap in opposite directions. We're just warming up the rotator cuff here a little bit. And now pull strong with the right hand and just let that left hand, let the right hand win just a little bit. Pulls off to the right. And now the opposite, the right hand resists strongly, the left hand is winning. A couple more from side to side. Just 1 more. And other side. All right, nice. We can pop our strap down for now. Move these blocks out of the way as well. So from here, come down to a child pose. Knees wide, big toes touching. Reach the arms long out in front of you. Take a couple of longer, deeper breaths here. And now keeping the hips reaching back towards the heels. So the hips don't try and shift forward. See if you can creep the fingertips maybe a little bit further forward. Maybe you can walk those fingertips maybe a centimeter or 2 more. Getting some length through the side body. Nice. From there, walk those hands back in. And just come to a baby camel. Bring the hands behind you. I like the fingers facing a little bit away from me for this one. Lift the chest, lift the hips, and back down. Nice. 2 more just like that. Chest lifting first, and then lift the hips up. One more time. Extend the spine, lift the hips, and back down. Nice. From there, let's come to downward facing dog. Lift the hips up nice and high. Just pause here for a few breaths. Take any movement here that feels nice for you. Maybe that's pedaling the feet out a little bit. Perhaps shifting from high plank back to downward facing dog a few times. Just whatever feels good to. And start to waken up, start to work their shoulders a little bit here. Fingertips a little gripping into the ground, the hands pressing the mat down and forward. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Just tiptoe to the front of your mat. From there, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to soften. 2 more like that. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Breathing in, lift up. Refold, breathe out. This time, sweep the arms all the way up, reach up to the sky. And then bring hands to prayer. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, press the knuckles down and away, lift the chest. And fold forward as you breathe out. Release the arms, inhale halfway. Refold, exhale. Same pattern, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands behind, interlace, chest lifted, breathe in. Fold forward, bend the knees, exhale. Release the arms, inhale, halfway lift. And then step your left foot back to Anjaneyasana and bring your block with you. From here, bring the block to the outside of the right hip. Plant the left foot into the ground, little tuck of the tail. And on that right hand on that block, reach the left arm up and over. Take 1 more breath. And then release, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Elbows in, chaturanga to the ground. We'll take cobra. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Step forward, Anjaneyasana, bring the back knee to the ground. Now that block goes outside the left hip. Right foot presses down, right arm reaches up and over to the left. 1 more breath. And then release. Step forward and forward. Halfway up. Refold, breathe out. Inhale, reach all the way up. And this time, take the feet wider, sit down into a squat malasana. Chest lifted, breathe in. Fold forward, breathing out. And halfway lift. Then step your right foot back, bring the back knee to the ground. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, fingertips down, start to straighten through that front leg. Inhale, lift back up. Hands down, down dog. High plank, inhale. Again, elbows in, cobra to the ground. Chest forward, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Right leg lifts, breathe in. And step forward, bring the back knee to the ground. Inhale, sweeping up. Half splits, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands down, step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach up to the sky, press the feet down to the ground. Hands to prayer. Continuing reach up. Feet wider, Malasana. Inhale, chest lifted. Fold forward, breathe out. Halfway lift. Step or hop through Chaturanga up dog. And then make your way back to down dog. Nice, from dog, let's lift the left leg up. And step forward into a lizard lunge. So left foot nice and wide on the mat. From there, plant the right hand, bend the back knee, reach and grab with the back hand. If you can't quite access that back foot, there's a couple of things you can do. You can take the right hand, a big step over to the right. I'll give you a little bit more range there. You can also use your belt or strap that you used earlier. Hold here a couple more breaths. As you pull that foot in towards you, a gentle kick of the foot back into the hand at the same time. One more breath. And then release back to down dog. Inhale, high plank. Chaturanga to up dog. And then back to down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step forward, lizard lunge. So right foot nice and wide, like heels on, toes slightly off. Plant that left hand down, bend the back knee, right hand reach and grab. We're looking for the pinky side edge of the foot for this version. And 2 more breaths right here. Release, down dog. Nice. From dog, inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand all the way up, reach up. And this time, chair pose, sink the hips back and down. Arms by the ears, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. And halfway lift. This time, left foot back to a crescent lunge, so high lunge. Reach the arms up, breathe it in. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, press knuckles down and away, lift the chest. Back leg straight and strong here. One more breath in. Release, hands down, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Chaturanga to the ground. And this time we'll take a 3-part cobra. So for this one, you can watch this first one and then we'll do it together. So we take our fingers wide, actually off the mat here, with our elbows facing up towards the sky. For some people, in terms of the low back, the feet a little bit further apart from each other might be a little bit better here. So the first part, we press down, lift up. Part 2, we let chest and belly melt forward as the shoulder heads roll back. Part 3, I pull my belly in and up, and I pull my fingertips back towards me. And then release, and back to down dog. From there, inhale, lift your left leg up. And step forward into crescent. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. Knuckles down and away, lift the chest. One more breath. And release, step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale, sweep up. Chair pose, exhale. Take one more breath in. And fold forward, breathing out. And halfway, right foot back, crescent lunge. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest, breathe in. Release, down dog. High plank. And chaturanga to the ground. We'll take that three-part cobra again. So fingertips go a little bit wider off the mat, elbows facing straight up, and elbows roughly in line with the shoulders here. Press down, lift up. Soften, exhale, shoulder heads roll back. Pull belly in up, breathe in, fingertips pull back. Release, down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Refold, exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Chair pose, exhale. One more breath in. Fold forward, breathing out. Halfway lift. And step your left foot back to a crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time, open warrior two. Pivot the back heel, arms reaching away from each other. This time in that warrior two, we'll take eagle arms. Bring the right elbow under the left. Squeeze the forearms together. Reach the elbows up and away from you. If it doesn't work for you in your shoulders, you come to this position with the left arm straight, the forearms still squeezing towards each other. Elbows up and away, one more breath in. Warrior two, breathing out. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, vinyasa to the ground. And we'll take that three-part cobra again. So really with this three-part cobra, make sure you're focusing that third part, not just pressing down, the fingertips dragging back towards you. All right, press down, lift up, breathe in. Soften, melt forward. Pull back towards you with the fingertips, belly in and up. Release, and down dog. Nice, from here, left leg lifts. Warrior two, crescent lunge first. Crescent lunge, reach up. Getting ahead of myself, warrior two, breathing out. From that warrior two, we'll take those eagle arms, right elbow under, left elbow on top. Squeeze forearms together. One more breath in. Release the arms back to warrior two. Reverse. Vinyasa to the ground. Again, for that three-part cobra. Fingertips wide. Press down, lift up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, pull back towards you. Exhale, release. Nice, we'll end up back in down dog. We'll pause here. Take 3 longer breaths. Slowing down here for a moment. Even close the eyes down. Feel those hips lifting up nice and high, fingertips gripping the mat. On your next breath in, lift your left leg up and step forward into a warrior one. I like the feet a little bit further apart for this one. Our back foot is around sort of 45-degree-ish angle there. Reach the arms up, palms together. And really sink into that front leg, but keep the back thigh active here. You're still rooting down through that back foot. Take a breath in. And bring those hands behind you, interlace the fingers, lift the chest, inhale. And then come into humble warrior, folding to the inside of that right thigh, keeping that interlace of the fingers. Both legs still active here, pressing down. Pause here, one more breath. Release, hands down, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Then any back bend from here, up dog cobra. I'm going to take up dog. And then back to down dog. Same thing on the right side. Lift the right leg up. And step forward, warrior one. Inhale, reach the arms up, bring the palms together. And pause here and check in with the legs, make sure they're both working here. Bring those hands behind you, interlace the fingers, knuckles down and away, lift the chest, and fold onto the inside of that right thigh again. One more breath. Nice. Then release the hands and come into a wide position. Take the legs nice and wide, toes facing straight forward. We'll start lifted here for a moment, sort of like a halfway lift here in the chest, the fingers down on the ground. Nice. And then coming to your version of the wide-legged fold. So you can grab a block, you bring your head down to the ground, maybe you bring that block down, give your head a little bit of support here. Legs are still active here, pressing down into the ground. And just a couple of slower breaths. One more breath. And then release. Head back to down dog. Yeah, an optional vinyasa from here. Otherwise, just pause in your dog. Hips lifting nice and high. And those hands pressing the mat down and away from you. Find some length through the shoulders up towards the hips. One more full breath. And then lift the left leg up and step forward into that lizard lunge. Left foot nice and wide on the mat again. From here, we'll work the hip flexors of that right hip. So walk the fingertips a little bit out in front of you. Press them down and pull the chest forward as you root the back foot into the ground. If you're quite hunched over in this one, you can't really find that length. Grab yourself a couple of blocks just to get up a little bit taller here. And that feels really nice. All right. Now from this positioning, keep the legs as they are. Walk your torso over towards the right corner of the mat. So we've sort of 45 degrees, angling off to the right. Come down onto the right forearm or maybe off onto the right hand, depending on how open you are. And walk the left fingertips away from you. And as you creep those fingertips away, you're looking for more length through the left side of the body. Very nice. Release. And back to down dog. Do the same thing on the right side. Lift the right leg up. And step forward to lizard lunge. And walk those fingers a little bit out in front. Press them down onto something, whether it's the ground or the block. Then pull your chest forward here. Get a couple moments of stillness here. Really soak them in and just take your time. Slow it down here for a minute. Walking those hips, looking the hips where they are, sorry. Walking that torso a little bit over towards the left corner. I'm keeping those right fingertips away from you this time. One more breath. And release. All right, from here, we'll come into our back bend phase of class. So we'll work a couple of versions of camel, and then we'll come into our wheel pose. So for camel, we'll start with a half camel. And depending how open you are, you might have just hands in back pockets. You might have your hands down on blocks. So just go to a safe range within your body. For me, I'm going to have my toes curled under, and we'll do a half camel to start with. I'm bringing my right hand to the inside of my right heel. From there, I lift my right shoulder up and draw it back. So it goes up, shoulder blade up and back. And now I retract my shoulder blade so the shoulder blade is more towards my spine. Bring my left hand behind my head. And I start to press down and lift up. Now my chest is sort of angling a bit off to the right here. I'm going to turn my chest more so it's facing towards the ceiling. And think about chest lifting up and forward with the chest. Okay, slowly come back out. You can rest if you need, otherwise we'll go straight to the other side. Left shoulder up and back. And use that hand to press the shoulder weight into the back of the chest. That right hand can come behind the head for a little bit of support here. And that chest lifting up and forward. One more breath. And release. You can toes and rest for a moment. Just while I show you this next little bit. So when I'm talking about chest up and forward, sort of the action that I'm looking for here. Let's see if I can sort of demonstrate this for you. Is so the belly pulls in and up, and the chest lifting up and forward as if I'm trying to reach it to where the wall and the ceiling meets. So up and forward, belly in and up, chest up and forward. So you want the chest to be sort of the middle of our back bend here. And by expanding from the chest rather than just from the low back, you're hopefully creating a bit more throughout the entire spine. So you're really trying to extend through the whole spine rather than just in one little section, and that's when you might get a little bit pinchy in that low back. Let's come back to camel. We'll do full camel now. So again, you find your version. This one, I'm actually going to go tops of the feet down on the ground. Bring your hands to the heels. Again, shoulders up, back, and chest up and forward here. Again, I'm still trying to extend through the entire spine, not just through one or two little segments. Nice. And then come back out. All right. So as we go, we're going to go into our backs now. And we're going to go into wheel pose. If wheel's just not accessible for you, totally fine. You just take bridge pose. Okay? So just watch this one first. I just want to get an understanding of how I like to do wheel anyway. So from here, I set my feet up for bridge, fairly close towards the heels. Feet at least hips width apart, and for some people even wider, sometimes even all the way to the edge of the mat is more comfortable. From there, instead of the finger, usually we often see people when they put their hands down, they put them right next to their ears. So this is not a strong position for your shoulders. It's a bit wider with the hands, and hands maybe even a little bit turned out as well might be helpful for some people. So from there, press the feet down and come up into a strong bridge first. A really nice, strong bridge. From there, you can come onto the crown of the head. And you can either stay right there, or you can start to come into full wheel. So before thinking about straightening through the arms, think about chest reaching towards the back of your room, and then look to straighten the arms. And I like to lift the heels up here as well. I'm continuing trying to reach my chest towards the back of the room, and focusing on extending through the entire spine. And from there, tuck your chin and slowly make your way back down. So just make sure when you are coming into wheel That is, if you do go from the crown of the head to lifting up, before you straighten the arms, think about that chest reaching towards the back of your mat, or the back of the room. If you try and straighten the arms and you're already, if you try and lengthen the chest and you're already straightening the arms, it's way more difficult. So just try and get that action in there before you look to straighten those arms. Nice. So we'll do 3 rounds here in total. So whenever you're ready, bridge or wheel. Set yourself up, whichever option you're taking. And this time I'm just going to flow straight through from here, all the way up into my wheel. My glutes are engaged, pulling my belly in and up. I'm trying to lengthen through the entire spine. Tuck your chin. And all the way back down. You can take the knees wide, so feet wide, let the knees come into touch. Or the opposite, soles of the feet together, knees wide, whatever you prefer. We'll take a couple of breaths here. We'll do one more round. All right, we'll get set up for our final round. If you've had enough, that's totally fine. Just stay in that resting posture. And we'll catch you in a moment. All right, final round, bridge or wheel when you're ready. Breath in. And slowly coming up into your wheel pose. And tucking your chin. And coming all the way back down. All right, very nice. So while you're resting, I just want to show you what those 2 versions would look like. So the first version, I'll do it mildly because it won't feel very nice. And then I'll show you the second version of how I like to do it. So we set up like we're doing for wheel. And this is what I don't want you to do. So when you come up here and just straighten the arms, you can see that's all in my low back. That does not feel very good. So now I set up again and I go to the crown of my head and then I reach my chest back and then straighten. And now it's a much more evenly distributed back bend, which is what we're after. All right, so let's get ready to cool down now, everybody. So firstly, let's just come back to a seated position. Sit up nice and tall. And take 3 longer, deep breaths right here. Right. From here, a couple of options. Either cross legs with the right shin in front of the left, or you can come into with the right ankle on top of the left thigh. From there, sit up nice and tall. Turn your torso towards that right foot, so I'm angling off to the left. And then fold down on that ankle. And allowing that right hip here to soften a little bit. Just cooling down. Really start to bring your awareness back through the breath. And think about longer exhales and inhales, whatever that means to you. From there, sit up. Now turn towards the right. Bring your right hand behind you, left hand to the knee, and take a little twist to the right. Trying to turn from the rib cage, from the torso here. Nice. Come back through center. We'll take it to the other side. So either cross legs, left in front of the left shin in front of the right, or left ankle to the top of the right thigh. From there, again, sit up tall, turn towards that right, the left foot, turning towards the right, and any amount of folding forward here. Okay, lifting back up, left hand behind you, right hand to the left knee, twist to the left. I think twists always feel pretty good, but particularly after back bends. Nice. Come back through center. And then we'll take pigeon. So we'll take right shin across the front of the mat. If pigeon doesn't work for you, you can take 90-90. I'm going to reach the left leg back. We'll start, sit up nice and tall. And then allow yourself to fold down over that front shin. And just really allow yourself to soften and melt down here. Take a few breaths. Nice, we'll take it to the other side. You can either go through downward facing dog or just switch it over to the left side. Again, we'll start up nice and tall here. And then folding down. Okay, lifting back up. This time, bring both legs straight out in front of you. Bring your hands and the fists, reach the arms out. Front, tuck your chin to your chest. Continue rounding through the rest of the spine. Tuck your tail and make that nice and slow descent down towards the ground here. From there, as we arrive, we'll take happy baby. Bring the knees in towards the chest, then grabbing either inside or outside of the feet. Personally, I like the inside, grabbing onto the heels, but find your preference here. This will be our last active pose. Maybe a little rocking side to side if that feels nice. Okay, release, hug both knees in towards the chest. Take a final deep breath into the nose. As you exhale, go into Shavasana. Lay the legs nice and long out in front. Arms out by the sides, palms facing up. And just begin by taking 3 longer, deep breaths, whatever that means to you. Now, I invite you to stay in Shavasana for a few minutes. I highly encourage you to stay for a few minutes. Ready? I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for practicing. Really appreciate taking the time to be here with me and to be with yourself, look after yourself. As always, thank you all for your efforts and your attention today. Namaste.